Today we have a mildly disturbing situation on our hands, which surprisingly is not about tracing art styles, calling out artists for having badly drawn or quote-unquote ugly drawings, or any other thing which seems to be the normal art TikTok problems. This one is different. Apparently, it will seem art TikTok has a problem with artists being both young and insanely good at drawing for some reason, and are calling them out and making videos about them for comedic effect.
Happy birthday to me.
It's not your birthday, boy. It's Amarion's birthday.
Grab your coffee or other beverage of choice, my dear beloved viewer, for today we have a rather interesting topic to talk about. Being a young artist aged between 13 to 16 on TikTok that also supposedly knows how to draw and paint mind-blowing images is now causing drama and somehow making artists who are slightly older to feel insecure about their drawings, wondering why their skills are not on par with their fellow artists. Bonus points if said artists are younger than them. While this phenomenon has been happening ever since on TikTok, it will seem this ongoing beef between older artists and their fellow younger comrades started again after a young artist shared their drawing process on TikTok with a caption that said support a 13-year-old artist. The video immediately went viral and people started leaving funny comments insinuating the artist made them want to quit art because of how skilled they already were at drawing while being at such a young age, and how they had supposedly wasted their years learning art but constantly failing over and over. What am I doing with my life? Wow, this inspired me to quit. Same age, by the way, broken heart emoji. The video, which had over 4,000 comments, were mostly filled with people either discouraged from sharing their own art or wondering how the artist even got that good at 13 and doubting the truthfulness of their age. Someone literally assumed the artist was 20 just because they were liking comments saying they were 20 years old. And I can't even lie, I can understand why they feel that way, since apparently there was a trend where people will lie about their age or fake being beginner artists on TikTok just so they could claim being young or beginners and use that to grow their account and increase their following. And then when they started getting popular, they immediately come out and clear the air saying it was all a social experiment and wasn't really serious in the first place, which is possibly why a lot of people in the comments were pretty skeptical about this artist's age. Someone even asked them to delete the video because it was somehow making many artists lose confidence and then causing them to want to quit art. Scrolling through this artist's comments was a literal battle for survival as people kept on leaving comments and even rage quitting for apparently no reason at all. So I decided to go on the artist's TikTok account, and they haven't really posted a lot, but they have a few drawings on their page along with their viral video. And for an artist that's 13 years of age, they have a really good understanding of form, shape and anatomy, and in their process video you can even see them use a perspective grid and also establish light sources in their painting. These are all telltale signs of an artist with a lot of experience who also has really good understanding of the fundamentals of art. One could also say they are wise beyond their years and far more experienced too. This is apparently what seems to be raising a lot of eyebrows in the art community on TikTok, causing suspicion and whispers in the corridors while the artist walks by, tugging along their squeaky little drawing tablet. Now obviously this artist clearly has skills which for the most part are mostly common with older artists who have been drawing for a long time and have gained a lot of experience along the way. But art, just like any other skill, can be learned by anyone regardless of how old or young they are. As long as they're consistently practicing and following tutorials, they're obviously going to learn and improve along the way, especially if they're consistent and drawing for hours almost every other day. But art TikTok did not find this funny or inspiring at all and quietly turned it into a trend, calling the artists out and making videos about them.
Do you know this video or artist? If you do, please watch this video. You've probably seen this trend.
It's not your birthday, boy. It's Amarion's birthday.
I'd like to say how I view this situation. Most importantly, do you remember that the artist is literally just 13? Some of you guys are in high school, comparing yourself publicly to them, and creating this whole trend of basically saying, you make me feel like I'm bad at drawing. You do realize how shitty it would make the artist feel? No, look, I get it. I know how unmotivating it feels. I understand the feeling when your art isn't good enough. and that there's other artists out there that are at the same age or are younger than you that are better than you. I even know how pissed you might be when artists use their age when showing artworks. But that is no excuse to blame this young artist to make them feel bad, to make them carry a heavy burden of this huge extent that they've caused negative emotions, even making some people want to quit just for posting their art to showcase. No one's saying you can't be jealous, but you should take it out privately. It has gotten so bad that the artist had to make a whole statement post.
Mostly what people found an issue with in this situation was because the artist was quote-unquote using and spamming their age in videos, flexing their age to gain attention from the art community, and basing their entire account and personality on their age and them being a young artist. A number of videos started floating around my For You page with captions saying support an X-year-old artist, with the X being replaced by the age of the artist posting the video, which was a snarky little tease at the artist's original video because they asked people to support them and they were 13. As you would expect, the comments were all filled with other artists agreeing with this trend and making fun of the original artist. Many other artists also started showing their art along with their age, showing the comments what normal drawings made by a 12 or 13-year-old should look like, and indirectly mocking the original artist and saying they caused them to quit art because of just how good they were. Someone then left a comment asking people to normalize not telling their age when sharing their drawings, since apparently it was just putting other artists down and causing reverse motivation. I know this video is a joke or whatever, but don't let younger artists discourage you from trying and continuing to create things that you love. Being jealous and constantly questioning why someone is better than you at something will end up in you not progressing any further. I want this comment to be here so people can see you can absolutely be able to have those same skills as those 12-year-olds if you just try your best and never let yourself down because of your current skills. Jealousy is a normal reaction towards something that you dislike, but please seize the trend of making fun of the original creator and quit making hate posts or harassment towards the original creator. This affects their mental health too. Everyone is human. It's normal to be jealous, but it doesn't mean cyberbullying should be normalized. Other videos calling out artists who use their age claimed they were just doing it to flex their talent and look good because they were young, but at the same time making better art than artists who were older than them. This made people start assuming they were only doing it for attention because somehow posting your drawings on TikTok and adding your age made your videos get a lot of attention, especially if you happen to be really young. Now, obviously this isn't necessarily a wrong thing to do, and most of the artists who do this figured out it's an easy way to grow their accounts and at the same time get people to see their work. But what seems to rile up the community on TikTok is because the artists now make it all about their age and start posting every single video with a caption that mentions their age in one way or another. People were leaving comments under the videos calling them out, saying art doesn't revolve around age, which then caused an entire argument over why artists shouldn't be bothered about another person's age and how an artist posting their age was making other artists insecure.
Hot take, but there's no reason to hate on an artist solely because they're young and draw well. I understand that it is demotivating to see a 13-year-old draw better than you, but you don't need to tell a 13-year-old you're going to quit art because of them. IDK, it just seems that the art community is just toxic towards talented artists. And I know some people say they flex their age, but if I drew like that, I'd low-key do the same. Actually, I did do the same in an older art study. I was very proud of that piece. Anyways, keep drawing, twin.
People are so negative these days. So what if a 10-year-old is proud of their progress and decides to post it? It's none of your business anyways. They can just post it without going,
Hey guys, I'm 10 and I made this. Did you know I made this as a 10-year-old? And did I forget to mention that I made this while being 10 years old?
I'm not trying to say they're bad people, but I swear to God, when they reveal their age, it's like the comment section is praising them or being jealous for their age instead of the actual art. Art is art, no matter what the artist's age is. There's no need to talk about age if you want attention for it. What matters most is how hard you work till you get to that level. Comments like these and many others made it clear that people were finding it annoying and disingenuous that the age of the artist subconsciously changes how audiences react to a video. Now, according to their theory, if a 30-year-old artist and a 13-year-old artist both posted the same drawing, for some reason the 13-year-old will most likely receive more comments and attention because people are impressed by their skill and just how young they are. Either that or, I don't know, maybe there are a lot more 13 to 15-year-olds on TikTok, far more than there are 30-year-olds. Just a thought.
Hot tip. Being skilled in art at a young age is imposage. Yes, it's annoying when someone's making their entire personality about being a young artist, But we shouldn't dismiss the obvious hard work and talent they have just because they're flexing or looking down on older art. Let's not get carried away by our jealousy. If you really want a better community, then it's better to keep negative thoughts inside when it's unnecessary and damaging.
To be fair, I do agree with this video a lot. I have no issue with an artist being really good at drawing at a young age, and I don't even think it's annoying at all. But then again, them constantly spamming their age in front of every single person that watches their videos could get a bit exhausting pretty quickly. But really, they're just kids. Let them do what they want and have fun. The most important thing is they're drawing and doing something impressive with their time, and they're not even hurting anybody in the process. Just let kids be kids, man. Speaking about doing something impressive with your time, if you enjoy videos like this talking about art controversies, weird or disturbing situations in the art community on the internet, you should subscribe. I post weekly and talk about art, things happening in the art community, and other things of that nature. If that's something you find interesting, just hit that little subscribe button and join the family.
Would you support a 30? Definitely no. I support you because I liked your art, not your age, bro. I find this trend stupid. Okay, you're young, but nowadays it's not unusual to be so good at drawing considering the number of tutorials available. Nobody really cares how young a fetus you are.
This person left a really good comment on one of these videos, and it shows just how much art progress has changed over the years for the most part. I think we forgot that artistic standards have changed throughout the years, and it's more common for young artists to be really talented now. When I was 13, the standard was to draw anime girls with paper and colored pencils or with specifically paint tool sai. The artists you saw back then wouldn't be considered that good now, but that was what we looked up to back then. The tutorials that popped up also covered a bunch of anime style anatomy, and those were fine if you wanted to learn how to draw in that style, but they never really taught why they're teaching you what to draw. Nowadays you have a bunch of tutorials in various styles, coloring and anatomy, and younger artists have a whole arsenal of videos they can learn off of. Moving on, I get both perspectives, but a young artist is allowed to be a show off if they're proud of what they worked on. Showing off isn't the same thing as putting someone else down, which is obviously never okay. In our present day and age, learning art has never been so easy. You can literally scroll through TikTok or Instagram and find hundreds of art tutorials from different artists from around the world. YouTube even has longer art tutorials and full courses for people to learn from if they're really serious. So I believe it shouldn't be a surprise if an artist who has been constantly practicing shows the slightest hint of improvement in their work after following a bunch of tutorials. Another person posted a funny video ranting about the situation and was calling out young artists, telling them to stop using their age as a gimmick just in order to get people to like their art.
Fair warning, we're not talking about these 13-year-olds. This is the first thing that came up. Okay, steaming hot take. Am I going to do any of these? Yes. Honestly, I don't care, okay? Today I opened my app to see this. Honestly, I wouldn't pay much attention to these types of videos if it weren't for the comment section turning them into a glazed donut. Oh, boohoo, I'm 13 years old. My art is so bad. Anyways, look at this very pretty rendering. I feel like most of these videos are just ego boost, and if you speak out against them, suddenly you're an old person who hates all young artists. This art is pretty. Do not get me wrong on that. But just because you copy popular artists' art style does not take away from the fact that you're 13 years old and you don't have the experience of a professional artist. Yo, the level of rendering is exactly the same to me. They're both pretty. What sets you apart from a professional artist is that these people study forms. You do not study anything except for rendering. Age does not matter in art, but there are just some things that comes with experience and age, okay? I'm not going to go any further with this because my anger comes from opinion-based stuff. But if you see this line confidence, and if you see how this looks under the rendering and under backgrounds that aren't even theirs because they're photo bashed, would you wire transfer this artist $100 right now? No. Look at me. If you had the money right now, would you specifically commission this artist? And this is $100 in other currencies, okay? Do whatever you want, it's your money, man. Personally, if I had $100, I would commission an artist that could actually draw my OC anatomically correctly. You can price your commissions however you want, especially if people value your time. Just don't get upset if the market doesn't respond how you want it to. Keep posting these types of videos just to feed your ego, I guess. And to the people watching, don't quit art just because someone's younger than you.
Apparently, it will seem they were talking about yet another situation with young artists who were using their age to appeal to commissioners. But for the most part, a lot of people in the comments were agreeing with the video and saying their take was valid. Not to anyone's surprise, the artist who posted the video that started this new hate trend saw most of these call out videos and decided to make a post about them, talking about the entire situation and how it made them feel. Also, fair warning, this is a really long read, so brace yourselves as I will try to go through it as fast as I can. After that video about my age, a lot of people started talking about me. Honestly, showing your age online isn't anything unusual anymore. What I find strange is that people kept reposting it and saying it makes them lose motivation motivation to draw feel inferior or that I'm somehow looking down on other artists. First of all, I have never looked down on anyone. It was simply a normal drawing video with a caption about supporting a 13-year-old artist. If that video made you want to stop drawing, that was never my intention. And honestly, I don't think someone who truly loves and enjoys art will give it up so easily because of a random video on the internet. Another thing is that some people have turned me into a trend. They use my artwork without asking for permission or giving credit. My art is something I spend time and effort creating, so I don't understand why some people think it's okay to use it without asking. Just because something becomes a trend doesn't mean credit is no longer necessary. I've always seen people saying things like, "I'm following this talented artist." While I appreciate the compliment, comments like that often end up dragging me into unnecessary arguments and comparisons. There are many artists who are better than me, whether it's in anatomy, technique, or overall skill. Some people compare me to them and say I'm not as good, and honestly, I agree that I still have a lot to learn from and improve. I'm far from perfect, but I've never looked down on anyone, so I don't understand why I'm being treated as if I have. The most serious issue is the false information being spread about me. I'm only 13 years old, and I have my whole life outside of social media. I don't spend 24 hours a day on my phone reading every single comment. I'm also not very good at English. If you've seen any of my replies, you've probably noticed that I use Google Translate a lot. So if you're telling people that I'm 16, 20, or any other age other than my real one, please stop spreading misinformation. I'm speaking up now because I've become overwhelmed and honestly don't know what else to do. I'm sorry if this post makes anyone uncomfortable, but please stop doing these things. It genuinely hurts me. Wow, that's so sad. I mean, for a 13-year-old, that was the most concise, well-written response to a negative situation I have ever read. Bravo, young lad. I think this entire trend of hating on young artists and calling them out for using their age in their videos is a little over-exaggerated and unnecessary. These artists are literally not doing anything bad with their art or even tracing another person's drawing or stealing art. Their only crime is being young, good at art, and posting about their age. And that's okay. I believe their age shouldn't make you want to quit art, but instead inspire you. If a child at that age can truly dedicate themselves to improving, then you can do the same despite your age. See it as motivation to keep going. And if you feel like these young artists are relying on their age in every single video they post, just let them be. They're young, they're having fun on social media and sharing art. It's literally harmless. If you're bothered by it so much, heck, do the same thing with your own art and make it a trend so people can follow and see you improve as well.
I swear if I see one more video with a screenshot of that one 13-year-old artist, I'm gonna twink. It's so funny seeing PPL trying to cope by saying they're actually 16. Maybe it's just because I'm almost 14, but it feels like I'm the only one that doesn't get jealous of young artists. I just don't understand why people care so much about age in the art community. Like, all I have to do is say that I'm 13 and I get so much praise, like it's so dumb.
Another thing with many of these call-out posts is they're all aimed at literal children. People making videos calling out these young artists seem to forget these are literal kids on the other side of the screen who are still developing emotionally. Little 15-second videos like this criticizing a 13-year-old artist might seem like harmless commentary to the person posting it, but to the kid receiving thousands of negative comments, they could end up feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. Art is already a vulnerable hobby, especially on TikTok, because people are sharing something they created, and as we have seen time and time again, they often get criticized for it. Calling them out just for being young could potentially discourage them from posting at all. I think we should just let kids be kids. If their posts are that annoying, just suck it up. Or as the white folk will say, swallow your pride. Everything gets easier when you remember you can always just scroll down to the next post. Well, it looks like you've made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share it with a friend who is a young talented artist, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With all that being said, I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye.